Welcome back to World of Warcraft Hardcore and Stoic Philosophy. This is episode 6, and we are starting the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 1.
Book I. Gratitude and Teachings.
Yeah, book I guess.
Giovanni Battista Piranesi. Veduta del Pantheon d'Agrippa Oggi, Chiesa Dies Maria et Martyrs.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
The Pantheon, eternal among the ruins, reflects Marcus's gratitude for those who came before him.
Let's go do some
symbol
quests.
of continuity beyond time. From my grandfather Varus, I learned a gentle character, not easily angered. 2. From the legacy and memory of my father, I learned a reserved and
My
manly
buddies in the
demeanor.
guild, thank you very much. Sent me some awesome
From my mother,
bags.
I learned piety, generosity, and an aversion not only to doing wrong, but even to the thought of it. Also, a simple way of life, untouched by the habits of the wealthy. 4. From my great-grandfather, I learned not attending public schools, having excellent tutors at home, and understanding that for such matters one must never skimp on what matters. From my tutor, I learned never aligning with the greens or blues, nor favoring parmularii or scatorii, cultivating endurance in hardship,
The reds and the
moderation
blues
in
for us.
desires, relying on one's own resources, avoiding entanglement, and disregarding calumny.
Give this to
6. From Diognetus, I learned indifference to trivialities, refusing to believe the lies of charlatans about spells, exorcisms, and nonsense, avoiding foolish pursuits like hunting quail on your head, tolerating blunt speech, embracing philosophy, studying under Bacchus, Tandasis, and Marcianus, writing dialogues as a youth, and desiring simple things like a cabbage and a skin, essentials of Greek education. 7. From
There we
Rusticus,
go.
I learned
Send that to
understanding
Bavin.
the need to refine one's
Bavin gets all the
character,
loot.
avoiding sophistry, writing theory, reciting moralizing speeches.
We're gonna learn
flaunting
skinning, but
asceticism / benevolence to impress others.
we'll learn it later.
Abandoning rhetoric, poetry, and flashy conversation.
Let's set our
Not
Hearthstone
parading
here.
in a toga at home, writing letters plainly, like the one Rusticus sent my mother from Sinuessa. Willingness to reconcile with those who wronged you, once they repent. Reading deeply and not settling for surface understanding. And encountering Epictetus' commentaries, which he lent me
Fill
from
your
his library.
tankard and pull up a chair. We've
From
stories to
Apollonius,
tell
I
and
learned a
kegs to
free and
empty.
unshakable attitude, giving nothing to fate, focusing solely on reason, remaining steadfast in acute pain, a child's loss, or prolonged illness. Witnessing firsthand how one person can embody both fierce energy and calm composure, staying unflustered while explaining ideas, seeing a man who dismissed theoretical teaching as his least important skill, and learning how to receive friends' favors,
Okay.
neither feeling diminished by
Good to go.
accepting them, nor tactless in refusing them. 9. From Sextus, I learned benevolence, the model of a patriarchal family, living in accordance with nature, true dignity, understanding how to care for friends, patience with the uneducated, the ability to connect with everyone, so his conversation was more engaging than flattery, yet he remained deeply respected. Intellectual rigor in identifying life's essential principles, never showing anger, yet being both detached and affectionate, humility and praise, vast knowledge without pretension. 10. From Alexander the Grammarian, I learned don't scold or mock those who slip into barbarisms, foreign-sounding words.
I'm gonna have to
or
get more
solecisms,
Marcus sayings.
grammatical errors. Correct with tact. Simply state the right term, as if responding, approving, or focusing on the issue itself, not
I
the
go this
mistake.
way.
Use polite alternatives to avoid embarrassment. 11. From Fronto, I learned to understand the envy, cunning, and hypocrisy inherent in tyrannical power, and how those we call patricians, the Roman elite, are, in a way, less sensitive to genuine affection. 12. From Alexander the Platonist, I learned, don't casually say, I have no time, when speaking or writing to others. Avoid using busyness as an excuse to neglect your duties toward those around you. 13. From Cato, I learned, don't neglect a friend who accuses you, even if their claims are baseless. Seek to restore your relationship. Speak warmly of your teachers, as taught by Domitius and Athenodotus. and love your children authentically. 14. From Severus, I learned love for family, truth, and justice. Through him, I learned of Tracia, Helvidius, Cato, Dion, and Brutus, shaping my vision of a state with equal laws for all, governed by political equality and free speech, and a monarchy that prioritizes citizens' freedom. From him also, balanced devotion to philosophy, generosity and giving, optimism and trusting friends' affection, blunt honesty toward the unworthy, and clarity in his intentions, no guessing games for his friends. 15. From Maximus, I learned mastering yourself and staying clear-headed in every situation, maintaining good humor, especially in illness, a balanced character, gentleness paired with dignity, fulfilling your duties without letting pain weaken you, speaking with total sincerity, so everyone trusted his words were genuine, and acting without malice, remaining calm in the face of surprises, never giving in to haste. Delay, despair, depression, sarcasm, anger, or suspicion. A nature inclined to kindness, forgiveness, and honesty. Appearing unyielding in principle, not just morally upright, leaving no one feeling disrespected or presuming superiority over him, and a gift for good-natured wit. 16. From my father, I learned a gentle disposition and unshakable loyalty to decisions made with care, rejecting vanity towards so-called honors, love of work and perseverance, willingness to listen to those offering something useful to the community, firmness in assigning merit fairly, experience in knowing when to tighten the reins and when to ease them, ending his romantic relationships with youths, respect for others, allowing friends to skip his banquets or travel without feeling obligated, yet remaining their steadfast ally even if they stayed home for necessity. Scrupulousness and persistence in counsel
make
to
some
find
good drinks,
solutions,
but
never
they need to
dismissing
learn that
matters
theirs isn't the
superficially,
only decent brew.
the ability
You
to
can
keep
help me teach
friendships
them
without
that lesson.
resentment or excessive attachment,
What's on
self-sufficiency in all
Fellow
things
Fizz
and
needs some of
callings,
my Evershine.
far-sighted foresight, and handling
I have
details
a cask of
without
Evershine
fanfare,
handy, but I'm on a quest.
reducing public acclamations and flattery toward power during his reign, constant attention to the empire's needs, prudent public spending, and tolerance of routine criticism, no superstition toward the gods, nor demagoguery toward people seeking approval, sobriety in every circumstance, never vulgar or obsessed with novelty, using life's comforts provided by fate without arrogance and without excuses, enjoying them simply if available, or finding no need if absent, never branded a sophist, buffoon, or pedant, but a mature, whole man immune to flattery, capable of managing his own and others' interests. Honoring true philosophers without offending others, yet never swayed by them, approachable and kind, but without excess, moderate care for his person, neither obsessed with his body nor slovenly, thus minimizing medical reliance. Above all, his willingness to yield without
I need to
envy
get
those
skinning.
skilled in rhetoric, law, customs, or other fields, while helping each excel in their talent, yet keeping traditions without drawing attention to his virtue, preferring to stay rooted in places and tasks rather than moving constantly, bouncing back swiftly after migraines,
Okay.
resuming work with freshness. Few secrets.
You gotta
Only
watch
rare
out
ones
for
on
here. I
state
think Old
matters.
Smokey's up here.
Sensible moderation in spectacles, public works, and
He will
generosity.
kill us.
Not chasing glory, but doing what needed doing. No odd bathing hours, no fixation on building, no constant focus on food, embroidery,
Oh,
or clothing
Old
covers,
Icebeard.
or slave's beauty. Wearing simple linen from Lorium's country estate. And most matters at Lanuvium. His conduct with the tax collector begging at Tusculum, and similar situations. No harsh, relentless, or violent behavior. Nothing to make anyone say, he pushed himself to the limit. Every decision came calmly, as in quiet reflection. Ordered, resolute, aligned with his inner principles. It suited him the
And
saying
a
about
month's worth
Socrates.
of dried meat,
He
salted
could both
and locked
enjoy
away for the
and
cold
deny
season.
things others
Kept
struggled
it
to
locked so the
resist
bears
or
wouldn't get
overindulge
it.
in.
But while I was on hunting
Strength,
deer,
Want those
that
braces.
and
tree,
sobriety in
Old
all
Icebeard,
things mark a
made
soul
off with
both upright and unyielding, proven in his composure during Maximus' illness. 17. From the gods, having had good grandparents, good parents, a good sister, Good teachers, relatives, and nearly all friends who were exemplary.
That's bad, Paul.
Never having wronged any of them, though I had a nature such that, if circumstances allowed, I might have done so. Fortune spared me such a
Watch
test.
him now.
Not having been raised too
He'll come
long
out
among my
eventually.
grandfather's concubines, preserving my vitality and delaying sexual relations beyond the usual age, even waiting past the socially acceptable time. Being raised by a ruler and father who quelled my pride and taught me that court life requires no bodyguards, fine robes,
So we'll sit and listen to
candelabras or
Marcus
statues,
until old
nor need one live in austerity,
Icebeard comes out.
even as a sovereign handling public duties. Having a brother like mine, whose character spurred me to self-care while rewarding me with respect and affection. No defective or deformed children. Not excelling so much in rhetoric, poetry, or other disciplines, where ease of progress might have ensnared me. Anticipating my tutor's ambitions and granting their desires without delay, despite their youth. Meeting Apollonius, Rusticus, and Maximus, repeatedly clarifying what it means to live in accordance with nature. Thus, whatever remains unachieved in this goal is my own fault, not theirs, for I ignore their guidance. My body enduring so long in this way, avoiding Benedicta and Theodotus, later resisting romantic passions and recovering. Often clashing with Rusticus, but never regretting my actions. My mother, though destined to die young, spending her final years with me. Always having the means to aid the poor or those in need, never replying, I have no funds for this. Never needing
Oh,
to
that
beg
warlock's so dumb.
my wife's docility, affection, and simplicity. Suitable tutors for my children, healing through dreams, especially against hemorrhages and dizziness. And, at Gaeta, when I turned to philosophy, I avoided sophists and never wasted time reading authors, dissecting syllogisms, or studying celestial phenomena. For these things demand divine aid and fortune's favor. Written among the Quadi along the Grand River.
Are you kidding me?
1. Verus. Biography. Marcus Aurelius Verus, paternal grandfather of Marcus Aurelius, was a Roman senator and a model of integrity
I'm
and
gonna get
discipline.
it.
His influence helped shape Marcus' sense of duty and justice,
I might
which
help
later
him.
defined his reign.
I have to help him.
2. Father, biography, Marcus Annius Verus. 3. Biological father of Marcus Aurelius, was a Roman senator and praetor. He passed away when Marcus was around 3 years old, but his reputation for modesty, dignity, and honor remained a lasting influence on his son's character and philosophical outlook. 3. Mother, biography.
I'm gonna kill this guy.
Amicia Lucilla, mother of Marcus Aurelius, was a wealthy and noble
The warlock
Roman
did
woman
most of
from
the
a
work.
prominent
That was
family.
pretty impressive.
Known for her
That's
piety,
a really good warlock.
generosity, and simplicity, she played a
tell him
crucial
that.
role in shaping Marcus' moral and philosophical values. Despite her
She's
status,
great.
she maintained a lifestyle that rejected excess and
You're
encouraged
good.
virtue. 4. Great-grandfather, biography, likely referring to Lucius Catilius Severus, maternal great-grandfather of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman senator and twice consul. As Praefectus Urbi, he played a key role in Marcus' early education, emphasizing private instruction over public schooling. 5. Tutor, biography, likely referring to an early instructor of Marcus Aurelius who played a key role in
What a
shaping his
kind
character.
soul you are, adventurer.
6.
Thanks to your
Sweet
bravery, I won't
experience.
find myself
And
starving when
some
the
good
Greens
braces.
and blues were rival chariot racing teams in ancient Rome. There were also reds and whites. 7. Parmularii or Scutoriae. Culture. The parmula, a small round shield, and the scutum, a large rectangular shield. Distinguished
I don't want to kill the
specific
animals because I'm going
categories
to
of
skin them.
gladiators.
So I'm going to go over here,
The
kill some
Parmularii
gnomes,
and the Scutoriae.
and then head back to Iron Forge.
Diognetus.
I need to get
biography.
skinning.
An early instructor of Marcus Aurelius,
I need to buff this guy.
Diognetus is believed to
Where's
have
he going?
introduced him to philosophy and critical thinking.
He's been buffed.
9. Hunting quail. Culture. A popular game in antiquity where quails were made to fight by striking each other's heads. Often associated with idle entertainment and discouraged by philosophers. In Bacchus, Tandasis, Marcianus, biography. We know little to nothing about
Actually-
Bacchus and Tandasides. As for Marcianus, some scholars suggest that the name may be a corrupted form of Maecenas, since the Roman jurist Lucius Volusius Maecenas is known to have been the tutor of Emperor Marcus Aurelius, for whom he also wrote a short
I'm gonna
treatise.
go and fight these.
11. Greek
Trolls.
education. Philosophy. A reference to ascetic habits such as sleeping on a simple cot and animal hide, commonly associated with philosophical restraint and self-discipline. 12. Rusticus, biography. Quintus Junius Rusticus was a Roman statesman and Stoic philosopher who served as a mentor to Marcus Aurelius. A leading figure in the Stoic tradition, he introduced Marcus to the works of Epictetus and emphasized the importance of self-discipline, ethical integrity, and philosophical training. 13. Sinuessa, geography. An ancient Roman city in southern Latium, modern-day Campania, known for its thermal baths and frequent retreats by the Roman elite. 14. Epictetus, Stoicism. A major Stoic philosopher, circa 50 to 130 CE, whose teachings, recorded by his student Arian, deeply influenced Marcus Aurelius. Key works include the Discourses and the Enchiridion. 15. Apollonius biography. Apollonius of Chalcis arrived in Rome during the reign of Emperor Pius to serve as a tutor to Marcus.
Is that good?
He was a strict adherent of
Nope.
Stoic philosophy.
It's not good.
16. Sextus biography. Sextus of Chaeronea was a Stoic philosopher and likely a grandson of Plutarch, though some suggest he may have been his nephew. The evidence, however, leans more strongly toward him being Plutarch's grandson. 17. Alexander the Grammarian, biography. Alexander, a grammaticus from Phrygia, was known for his commentary on Homer. His contributions were esteemed enough that the rhetorician Aristides delivered a panegyric in his honor during a funeral oration. 18. Fronto, biography. Marcus Cornelius Fronto was a prominent rhetorician and held in high regard by Marcus Aurelius. Fronto was one of the most significant Roman writers and orators of the 2nd century, serving as a tutor to both Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Verus. 19. Alexander the Platonic, biography. It is most likely a reference to Alexander of Seleucia, who served as secretary in charge of Greek language correspondence at the court of Marcus Aurelius. 20. Catullus, biography. Possibly Catullus, a Stoic philosopher, known for his teachings and principles aligned with the Stoic tradition. 21. Domitius and Athenodorus, biography. The identity of Domitius remains uncertain. However, given the context, the reference appears to point to rhetorician and senator Domitius Afer. Athenodorus, a philosopher and rhetorician, was the teacher of Fronto. 22. Severus, biography. Claudius Severus, a Stoic philosopher and close associate of Marcus Aurelius. 23. Tracia, Helvidius, Cato, Dion, Brutus. History. These were renowned and exemplary opponents of tyranny. Thrasea a senator and Stoic philosopher, was sentenced to death by Nero in 66 CE. Ovidius Priscus, Thrasia's son-in-law, was exiled first by Nero that same year, and again by Galba in 69, after returning to Italy, before being condemned to death by Vespasian. Marcus Porcius Cato, a Stoic and staunch opponent of Caesar, took his own life at Utica in 46 BCE, rather than betray his republican principles. Dion, a friend of Plato, stood against the tyranny of Dionysius of Syracuse. Marcus Junius Brutus led the conspiracy against Julius Caesar and committed suicide at Philippi in 42 BCE. 24. Maximus, biography. Claudius Maximus was a Stoic philosopher deeply respected by both Marcus Aurelius and his predecessor, Antoninus Pius. He epitomized the ideal Stoic sage, demonstrating unwavering self-discipline, clarity of mind, and resilience.
I was trying to eat.
Marcus praises his virtues extensively in Meditations 5.27, highlighting his profound influence and exemplary life. 25. Father, biography. Marcus refers here to his adoptive father.
These are better
Emperor
boots. We're
Antoninus
gonna wear these
Pius.
boots. Infantry
He
boots.
praises his
That's a
reasoned
win.
judgment and gentle nature. For more on his virtues, see Meditations
Got some new boots.
6.30. 26.
They look good.
Lorium, Geography. Marcus' rural retreat near Rome, symbolizing his love for simplicity.
All right.
27. Lanuvium, Geography. An ancient Latin town, modern Lanuvio, known for its temple of Jupiter. 28. Tuscalo, Geography. Tusculum, a hill town near Rome, in the site of Cicero's villa. 29. Socrates, Literature. Referenced through the lens of Platonic and Xenophontic traditions. See Plato's 219a and Xenophon's Memorabilia, I.3.14, for depictions of his moderation and moral clarity. 30. Sister, Biography. Annia Cornificia Faustina. Her figure is mentioned in some epigraphic sources,
Oh, God.
though information about
This is
her
not
remains
ideal.
fragmentary. 31. Brother, Biography. Marcus Aurelius Verus, the adopted brother of Marcus Aurelius, co-emperor from 161 until his death in 169 CE. 32. Benedicta Theodotus. Biography, uncertain. Figures of unknown identity, likely mentioned for their beauty and licentious
Someone died
character.
there. Someone died
Possibly
there.
symbolic of external allurements and distractions. 33. Wife, Biography. Annia Galeria Faustina, Emperor Antoninus Pius, was the wife of Marcus Aurelius and the mother of at least 13 children. Although numerous malicious rumors circulated about her, the emperor never ceased to show her sincere and lasting affection. 34. Chiana, Geography. Modern Gaeta, a port city in Lazio. 35. Quadi, Geography. A Germanic tribe Marcus encountered
Those
during the
shadow
Marcomannic
bolts
Wars.
hurt.
They lived in the southern part of modern Bohemia and Moravia. 36.
We took
Grand
another
River, Geography.
weak trolls
The
blood
modern Kron
potion.
River in Slovakia, which
Great
flows
father.
into the Danube.
Oh, he's rare. I might have to kill him.
Book 2. Living According to Nature. Giovanni Battista Piranesi. Romanzi degli Acquedati Neroniani.
Come on, come on.
The broken arches of the Neronian aqueducts evoke the flow of nature itself. Ancient, inevitable, indifferent to time, as Marcus teaches us to be. 1. Each morning, begin by telling yourself, I will meet a gossip monger, an ungrateful soul, an overbearing brute, a fraud, an envious heart, a self-centered individual. Their actions stem from ignorance of what is good and what is evil. But for me, after reflecting on the nature of good and evil, I have concluded that they are moral beauty and ugliness. And after reflecting on the nature of those who err, I see them as my kin, not by blood or lineage, but because they share reason and a spark of the divine.
Alright, then we're gonna kill
Thus, I cannot be
great
harmed by
father
any of them.
there.
No one can drag me into wrongdoing, and I cannot feel anger toward a kin or hate them. For we were born to cooperate like feet, hands, eyelids, upper and lower teeth.
Alright,
To
so
act
we're gonna
against
hit him
one
with a
another is
crusader.
unnatural. To feel anger or disdain
And
is to
we'll go
oppose them.
from there.
2. Whatever this self may be, it is ultimately flesh, vital breath, and a directing principle. Throw aside the books, no more distractions. It's not allowed.
I don't speak
Instead, as if you were
trollish.
launched from death, despise the flesh, a clot of blood, bones, a woven web of nerves, veins, a tangle of arteries.
Ah!
And examine your vital breath. It is wind, and not even consistent wind. Breath exhaled
And he's
and
gone.
inhaled each one.
Oh, that's a nice
Third comes the directing principle.
belt.
Here
That's a
reflect,
nice girdle.
You are old. Do not let this principle become a slave, puppeted
One more
by self-centered
headhunter, and then we
impulses,
can hearth
nor
back.
rail against present
Here he is.
circumstances, nor anxiously anticipate the future. 3. The work of the gods is filled with providence. Fortune's work is not alien to nature, nor disconnected from the web of events shaped by providence. All stems from there. All stems from. Add this. Everything is necessary and useful to the cosmos as a whole, of which you are a part. For every part of nature, what is good is what the
Then we'll go to
universal
Iron
nature
Forge.
produces.
Get some skinning.
And contributes to its preservation. The cosmos is sustained both by transformations of elements and by the dissolution of composite things. Let these considerations suffice, as they are foundational principles. Reject the craving for books, so you may die not grumbling,
Well, they're
but
doing
truly
that quest,
serene
so I
and
better go
deeply
here.
grateful to the gods. 4. Remember how long you've delayed these things, and how many times, when the gods set a deadline, you failed to make use of it. You must finally grasp what the cosmos is that you're part of, what the ruling entity of the cosmos is, of which you are an emanation, and that you have a strictly limited time. This time, not used to secure serenity.
I didn't think you'd have much
That is
trouble
a
finding
good
place.
shield.
My
And there will
directions
be no
are
second
excellent,
chance.
you know.
Good Iron Forge
Let me
anyway.
just finish up. Excellent.
At every moment, resolve firmly, as a Roman and a man, to perform what lies before you with rigorous seriousness, not pretense, with love, freedom, and justice. Free yourself
Just
from
start
all
using
other
my
impressions
shield
by
and
doing each task as if it were your
one-handed mace.
last, stripped of superficiality, free of passionate resistance to reason's choices, and unburdened by pretense, self-interest, or resentment toward your lot.
Do a little cooking.
See how few conditions one must meet to live a life
Do
that
a
flows
little,
smoothly and honors the gods. For the gods
first
will
aid.
ask nothing more of those who observe these conditions. 6. You wrong yourself, soul. You wrong yourself. But you'll have no more chance to honor yourself. Life for each person ends. Yet you've nearly finished this life without respecting yourself, instead placing your happiness in other souls. 7. Are external distractions derailing you? Make time to learn something good, and stop wandering aimlessly. But you must also guard against a second kind of drift. For even through their actions, men who are weary of life and lack a
What can I
purpose
do
to
for
direct
ya?
every impulse, every impression,
I'd be in the
wander
thunder
lost.
Watch your back.
8. Rarely do you see someone unhappy because they neglect others' inner lives.
Fill your
Those who
tankard
ignore the
and pull up
movements
a
of their
chair.
own soul are
We've
doomed
stories
to
to tell and
unhappiness.
kegs to empty.
9. Always keep these points in mind: the nature of the universe and your own, the relationship between your nature and the universe's, and what part you play in the whole.
What's on your mind?
No
For
one
me,
can stop you
you're a
from
true
acting or
hero,
speaking in
Adventurer.
accordance with the nature you share as part of the whole. 10. In comparing vices as people commonly do, Theophrastus, the true philosopher, asserts that sins driven by desire are worse than those driven by anger.
Yeah.
The angry person turns away from reason in a state of pain and latent tension, while one who errs through desire, overcome by pleasure, is in a way more intemperate and weak in their failings.
Sell some junk here.
Thus,
Fill your
Theophrastus' view is
tankard and
correct
pull
and
up a chair.
philosophically sound.
We've stories to
The
tell
error
and kegs
tied
to
to
empty.
pleasure is more blameworthy than that tied to pain. In short, anger arises when someone has suffered injustice and been driven to wrath by pain, but in lust, driven sins, the person originates their own impulse to wrong, surrendering to desire.
Keep your feet on
11.
the ground.
Do, say, and think every single thing as if you might step out of life at any moment. But leaving others isn't grievous if the gods exist.
I like the shield.
They wouldn't let harm overwhelm you. And if, on the other hand, the gods either don't exist or don't care about human affairs, why would I want to live in a godless, providenceless world? Yet it's not so. The gods exist and care. They've given humans the full power to avoid what is truly evil. As for other things, if any were truly evil, the gods would have ensured all could escape them. But what doesn't make a person worse could never make their life worse. The cosmos nature wouldn't neglect such matters through ignorance, nor could it fail to prevent or correct them if it knew, nor would it blunder so gravely as to let true good and evil strike the good and wicked alike. Death and life, fame and obscurity, pain and pleasure, wealth and poverty, all these befall the good and wicked equally, as they're neither morally good nor bad. Thus they're neither goods nor evils. 12. How everything fades so swiftly. Even bodies in the cosmos vanish. In eternity, their
Going
memory
up to
too.
Iron Forge.
Consider the nature of all sensory things, and above all those that allure through pleasure, terrify with pain, or feed human vanity. How trivial, Despicable, sordid, corruptible, mortal they are.
What
The
do you need
rational
directions
faculty
to?
must dwell
I
on
need
these
the
points.
skinning
Which profession
trainer.
trainer would you
What
be
are those
looking
whose
for?
opinions and voices
Balth
bestow
the
fame
Stone
or
Flayer
infamy?
is the one to see about skinning.
What is
If
death?
it can be skinned,
If you
he can
examine
teach
it closely,
you how.
dissolving
Just
its
walk
imagined
yourself
horrors,
over to
it
Fine
becomes
Spindle's
nothing more
leather
than a
goods
natural
on the-
process. And if one fears such a process, they are a child.
Balth the Stone Flayer is the...
Moreover,
very good.
death is not just a work of nature, but also one that serves nature's purpose. How does a person connect to the divine? By what part of themselves, and in what state, must this part align to meet their final moment? It is through reason, attuned to the cosmos order, that we find our link to what is eternal and divine. 13. Nothing is more wretched than those who wander in endless circles, as the poet says, delving into the earth's depths, seeking to fathom other souls, yet oblivious that true devotion lies in tending the demon within, and honoring it with sincere worship. This worship demands keeping it pure of passion, frivolity, and discontent with what comes from gods or men. For what the gods send is worthy of reverence through their own virtue.
I hate my
Men
hammer.
send is dear because of
Correct.
kinship, and sometimes pitiable, born
But
of
we'll
ignorance,
accept it.
good and evil. Such ignorance is no less blinding than the darkness that cannot tell white from black. 14. Even if you lived 3,000 years or 10 times that span, remember this. No one loses any life except the one they're living. And no one lives any life except the one slipping away. Thus, the longest lifespan and the shortest are equal. For the present
got my
is the same for all, and what is
Authority
consumed
of
is
the
the same.
king!
The loss, then, is trivial, for no one can lose the past or the future. How can you be deprived of what you don't possess? Always keep these 2 points in mind. First, that everything from eternity is of the same kind. It cycles back whether you witness its return in 100 years, or 200, or across infinite time. It makes no difference. Second, whether one lives many years or dies quickly, the loss is equal. Only the present can be taken from you, and that is also the only thing you truly have. To lose what you don't own is impossible. 15. Everything is opinion. The words to Monimus the Cynic are clear, and their value evident if grasped within the limits of their truth. 16. The
Hey,
human soul most offends itself
daylight
when it
burning.
becomes, by its own choice, a festering sore or growth on the cosmos.
Okay, we
Any
got
event
skinning.
is a betrayal of nature, which
You need a
encompasses
knife.
the unique
This
nature of
hide
every
isn't
being.
ready to work with yet.
No.
I wish it
Second,
didn't take so long
the
to
soul
make leather.
offends itself
There
when
has
it
to be
rejects
some way to
others,
cut
Good.
down on all
or
this
even
breaking.
acts to harm
It
them,
can't be.
as in the grip of anger.
Got a skinning knife.
Third, when it yields to pleasure or pain. Fourth, when it pretends, doing or saying things while hiding the truth. Fifth, when it acts without purpose, doing things randomly and carelessly, while even the smallest action should align with its goal. The purpose of rational beings is to follow reason and the law of the city and of the most venerable cosmic order. 17. In human life, time is a point, substance fluid, sensation obscure, the body's composition decay, the soul a restless wandering, fate inscrutable, fame without judgment. In summary, bodily matters are like rivers, mental matters dreams and emptiness, life a war and foreign exile, posthumous fame oblivion. What then is our safeguard? One thing alone, philosophy. Its essence lies in preserving our inner demon untouched and whole, above pleasure and pain, acting without randomness or deceit, needing no one else's actions or inaction. It also requires accepting events and fate as they come, since they originate from where we ourselves came, and above all, facing death with a serene mind, seeing it as nothing more than the dissolution of the elements composing every living being. If there is nothing to fear in the elements' endless transformation into one another, why fear their dissolution into their composite whole? It is natural, and nothing natural is evil. Written at Carnuntum. 1. Nature of good and evil. Stoicism. The Stoics, following Socratic principles, taught that virtue is knowledge and vice is ignorance. Those who truly understand what is right will act accordingly, as wrongdoing stems from false beliefs and lack of insight, not from deliberate malice. 2. Wrongdoing, literature. Marcus alludes to a well-known saying of Socrates from Plato's Apology, 30 CD. My accusers cannot harm me, because in my opinion it is contrary to divine law for a better man to be harmed by a worse one. This reflects the Socratic and Stoic belief in the moral invulnerability of the virtuous. 3. Directive principle, Stoicism. In Stoic philosophy, the hegemonikon, or directive principle, is the faculty of reason that governs and restrains instinctual drives, sensory impressions, and mental processes. Regarded as a spark of the divine within a human being, it embodies the rational essence of the soul. The tripartite division of the human being into flesh, vital breath, and directive principle is likely derived from the thought of Posidonius. 4. Composite things, philosophy. The elements, earth, water, air, and fire, combine in countless forms to constitute all things in the universe. Their continual dissolution and recombination reflect the natural cycles of change, including death and rebirth. 5. Impressions. Stoicism. Impressions translates phantasia, a key Stoic term referring to anything that presents itself to the mind, whether through the senses, thought, memory, or imagination. It encompasses all mental appearances or perceptions, which the rational mind must evaluate before assenting to. 6. Souls. Stoicism. Marcus often uses soul, dianoia, and mind, interchangeably to refer to the rational faculty. The soul is made of pneuma, the vital spirit that permeates and organizes the cosmos in Stoic physics. 7. Unhappiness. Stoicism. Marcus emphasizes the need for a clear purpose in life, one aligned with the rational structure of the universe. Without such aim, the soul wanders aimlessly and becomes miserable. True happiness arises from living according to nature. All else is mere distraction along the path. 8. Theophrastus. Biography. A disciple and successor of Aristotle, Theophrastus was the author of Characters, ca. 370 to 285 BCE. However, what Marcus Aurelius attributes to him in this passage finds no confirmation in any of his surviving texts. 9. Truly evil. Stoicism. For the Stoics, the only true evil is moral vice. Virtue alone is good, and the capacity to pursue it lies entirely within our control. Since we choose how to judge and respond to events, all real harm is ultimately self-inflicted. 10. Earth's depths. Literature. This phrase is a quotation from the Greek poet Pindar, possibly transmitted through Plato's Theaetetus, 173e. In that context, it refers to the unknowable nature of what lies beyond life or beneath the surface of existence. 11. Demon within. Philosophy. Another name for what Marcus elsewhere refers to as the ruling faculty, hegemonikon. The notion of a personal guiding spirit, daimon, may have Pythagorean origins, but was especially developed by Plato as the divine aspect of the soul that directs one toward the good. 12. Cycles back. Stoicism. The Stoics believed in eternal recurrence, the idea that the universe follows an endless series of identical cycles, each ending in a cosmic conflagration, ekpyrosis. Since divine providence ensures that the cosmos is as good as it can possibly be, any variation in a future cycle would be a departure from perfection. 13. Monomus the Cynic. Biography. Monomus of Syracuse was a Cynic philosopher and a disciple of Diogenes. He is known for his radical skepticism and rejection of conventional values, in line with the Cynic tradition. 14. Cosmic order. Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius is referring here to the Stoic cosmos of which human beings are a part. A Stoic metaphor for the universe as a rational city, polis, in which all humans are citizens. This reflects the Stoic ideal of cosmopolitanism in natural law. 15. Substance fluid. Literature. Marcus refers to the well-known saying of Heraclitus of Ephesus, circa 500 BCE. Everything is flowing, Pantarei. This doctrine of perpetual change deeply influenced Stoic cosmology, emphasizing that all things are in constant flux. 16. Carnuntum, geography.
Oh, damn.
A city in Upper Pannonia, near present-day Vienna. That was the capital of the Roman province of Pannonia Superior. Here, Marcus Aurelius established his military headquarters between 171 and 173 CE, during the Marcomannic Wars. Book 3. Being present and facing challenges. Giovanni Battista Piranesi, Veduta del Tempio della Sibilla in Tivoli. The Temple of Vesta, simple yet enduring, embodies the Stoic virtue that Marcus upholds as the key to mastering inner passions. 1. It's not enough to realize that each day consumes life, leaving less behind. You must also consider, even if you lived longer, would your mind still retain the capacity to grasp action and theory, to pursue true understanding of divine and human matters? For if reason falters, you won't lose merely the ability to breathe, eat, or feel impressions. You'll lose self-direction, rigorous attention to duty,
Okay, this is going to be sketchy.
and the judgment to decide whether it's time to end your life. All these require a sharp mind, and they fade first.
Quick
So
heal.
hurry, not only because death grows nearer each day, but because the very faculties that let you perceive and engage with reality dim long before the end. 2. Even incidental elements of natural processes hold a hidden charm. For instance, as bread bakes, cracks form on its surface. These fissures, which in a sense oppose the baker's goal, have their own elegance and whet the appetite. Similarly, ripe figs split open, and olives that linger on the tree past ripeness gain a special beauty from their near rot. Wheat bending under its own weight, the lion's wrinkled brow, the foam dripping from a boar's jaws. Many such things seem unremarkable in isolation, yet as natural outcomes, they enhance and captivate. If one perceives the universe's workings with depth, scarcely anything, even minor details of greater events, will lack its own appeal. Such a person would find pleasure in the gaping jaws of wild beasts as easily as in their painted or sculpted likenesses. And with clear-eyed appreciation, they'd see the dignified maturity in an old woman or man, the grace that lingers in children, and countless other insights. These are not persuasive to everyone, but only to those who've truly grown familiar with nature and her ways. 3.
I'm good.
Hippocrates, who cured so many illnesses, fell ill himself and died. The Chaldeans foretold the deaths of many, yet destiny claimed them too. Alexander and Pompey and Julius Caesar, after leveling cities and slaughtering countless infantry and cavalry, one day left life themselves. Heraclitus, who studied the cosmos' fiery transformations, died bloated with water, covered in cow dung. Democritus was felled by lice, Socrates by a different kind. So what? You've boarded the ship, you've sailed, you've reached port, now disembark. If your next destination is another life, the gods are there too. If it's oblivion, you'll cease to feel pain or pleasure, and no longer serve as slave to a vessel baser than the mind it holds. For that body is mere earth and rotting blood, while this soul is intellect and spirit. 4. Do not waste the life you have left on thoughts about others, unless your actions serve the common good. Otherwise, you lose focus on your own guiding principles,
Under attack.
dwelling instead on what someone else is doing or thinking, why they say or plan what they do, and similar trivia. Such distractions divert the mind. Keep casual, pointless thoughts out of your mental stream, especially gossip and malice. Train yourself to think only what you'd openly confess if asked, "What are you thinking now?" Your answer would reveal simplicity, goodwill, and the mind of one meant to live in community unashamed of thoughts free from lust, rivalry, envy, suspicion, or any passion you'd blush to admit. Such a person, already among the gods, is
Hey!
like a priest and minister
Level
of the
10,
gods,
guys.
pure of pleasure, unshaken by
And our
pain,
talent
untouched
is
by
gonna be
oppression, immune to evil.
we're gonna go
They compete in
between
life's
strength
highest
and
contest
intellect. I'm gonna
to never
do
be felled by passion.
3 intellect
They're
and 2
steeped in
strength.
justice,
Right now I need strength,
embracing all that
so we're doing
happens to
strength.
them and all their fate assigns. And they spare no thought unless tied to the common good for what others say, do, or think. This person guards only what belongs to them and focuses on how their actions intertwine with the cosmos flow. They keep their own conduct noble and trust the universe's order. Remember too, every rational being is kin. Caring for others is human nature.
Back
But
to a
don't heed
two-hander.
all opinions, only those of those who live by nature's law. As for others who stray, they see them clearly, what they are at home, abroad, day or night. They dismiss praise from such minds, for these people don't even please themselves. They act without reluctance, without self-centeredness, without hasty judgment, without being swept along. Don't dress your thoughts in fine phrases. Speak and do little. Above all, let the God within you guide a mind of strength, maturity, a member of the civic community, a Roman, a ruler, someone ready to hear life's final call, poised to release his hold, needing no oath or witness.
Need some ice claw bears.
Within, serenity. Without, no need for help, no reliance on others for peace. Be upright, not forced upright. Get 6. If you find anything superior to justice, honesty, moderation, courage, or in short, to the self-sufficiency of your mind, which acts through rational rightness, and to fate, the lot assigned to us beyond choice, then pursue that with your whole soul, and
It's
enjoy
hard to
the
keep up
highest
that
good it
roar.
offers. But if nothing seems higher than the demon within you, the mind that governs your impulses, judges your thoughts,
There's another
has
one.
freed itself, as Socrates said, from sensory passions,
Give him a
obeys
buff.
the gods, and cares for humanity, and you see all else as lesser and base, then leave no room for anything else. Once you tilt toward or cling to something else, you'll no longer honor undisturbed above all else, the true good that is uniquely
Well, we
yours.
can
For no
get
mere
bears
pleasure,
later.
fame,
I'm gonna
office,
turn in
or
and camp
wealth
here for the
can
day.
rival the good of reason and community.
Not bad, adventure.
These things,
Did
even
you
if
have
they
a hard
briefly
time
seem
getting
aligned
past
with your
their
nature,
guard?
soon
No matter.
Right by
overpower and
the
Many
mislead.
thanks. And if you're
So
ever
choose
in
the
need
better
of
path,
scouts with
plainly
Ooh,
and
time out.
freely.
Let's
don't
sell some
forget the
stuff.
barley brews.
But the better is the useful. If you mean the useful for a rational being, pursue it always. If you mean the useful for an animal, then declare it openly, and keep your judgment firm without pretense.
We'll mail that to
And
Bavin.
above all, evaluate this distinction with absolute
Oh, we got a
certainty.
fire here. We do a little cooking.
7. Never treat as your good anything that would one day force you to break a promise, abandon decency, hate another, nurse suspicion, curse, put on an act, or crave what must be hidden behind walls and curtains.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for episode 6. I hope you learned something about Stoicism, and